regret ever getting involved in?
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short life. Chris Wolf.
Yeah, Rick, MB, the street is now cleared. People have been moving in and out of that home behind me all day. And tonight we heard from some of those closest to Aaron Carter, and they all say the same thing. They all share stories of a very kind, loving, caring, humble, yet troubled young man.
When we think of Hollywood, our minds usually conjure up images of dazzling stage lights, glamorous award shows, and celebrities radiating confidence in front of flashing cameras. But behind that glittering facade lies a much darker world, a shadowy underbelly where power, money, and secrets are traded in the dark. Today's story will unlock the door to that hidden side of the entertainment industry, the concealed truths behind the mysterious death of Aaron Carter and the suspicious ties to powerful mogul Sean Diddy Combs. This isn't just a story about fallen teen idols. It's a story about power, manipulation, and the steep price paid by those who dare to challenge the very system that once nurtured them, only to later destroy them. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see Hollywood forever. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe for more. Sean Combs, also known by his various monikers like Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, and Brother Love, is not just a successful hip-hop artist, he's a powerful entertainment mogul who has shaped much of Hollywood's landscape. From humble beginnings in Harlem, New York, Diddy methodically built a music and fashion empire, becoming one of the most influential figures in the industry. However, his legacy isn't solely defined by musical achievements. It's also heavily shadowed by persistent rumors and scandals that have followed him throughout his career. One of the most infamous incidents was the 1999 nightclub shooting involving Diddy and his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. Although both were later cleared of charges, the event forever linked Diddy's name to a more dangerous, underground side of the entertainment world. Beyond personal controversies, many insider sources suggest that Diddy maintained close ties to so-called VIP parties, exclusive gatherings allegedly attended by young, rising stars. According to these accounts, these events were not just lavish celebrations. They were opportunities where power deals were brokered, careers were steered, and in some cases, traps were set for young talents to fall under more permanent control. Diddy often appeared as a gatekeeper, someone who could make or break careers, mentoring young artists like Usher, Justin Bieber, and, as recently surfaced, even Aaron Carter. At a time when Hollywood is being increasingly scrutinized for its ethical failures and hidden power structures, Diddy's name surfacing in connection with new accusations has only intensified suspicions. The pressing question remains, is Diddy simply a savvy businessman, or is he a mastermind pulling the strings behind a system where individuals like Aaron Carter are nothing more than pawns in a far larger, more sinister game? Aaron Carter, the golden boy of late 90s pop music, embodied everything Hollywood craved in a child star, adorable, talented, and bursting with potential. At just 9 years old, Aaron released his first album, quickly selling over 1 million copies, an extraordinary feat for any artist, let alone a child. But behind the cheers and the blinding stage lights was a childhood Aaron himself often described as a gilded prison. Under the strict management of his family, particularly his mother, who also served as his manager, Aaron was thrust into an endless cycle of performances, promotions, and grueling tours from a very young age. Reaching fame at such a tender age came with a brutal tug-of-war. On one side was his yearning to be recognized as a legitimate artist. On the other, the relentless pressure from his family, management, and the industry machine. In 2004, at just 17 years old, Aaron made headlines by suing his own mother, accusing her of stealing over $200,000 from his bank account. It wasn't merely a financial dispute, it was a public unveiling of the darker reality behind child stars, a world where love could easily be swallowed up by greed and ambition. Alongside family struggles, Aaron also battled the crushing weight of the music industry itself. For years, persistent rumors hinted that he had been a victim of the entertainment world's darker forces, including manipulation and psychological control. Though Aaron never named anyone outright, his cryptic interviews and suggestive social media posts led many fans to believe he endured far more behind the scenes than he ever publicly admitted. Notably, Aaron once expressed both jealousy and admiration for Justin Bieber, another young prodigy who, over time, also became a subject of similar dark suspicions. Aaron knew better than most the ruthless rules of the industry he grew up in. You could shine bright like a star, but the moment you strayed from the path they set for you, you risked being crushed. In his lonely, uphill battle, Aaron didn't just lose his career, he seemed to lose himself.
There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother, who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million. And they don't want to pay me. And it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money and they're trying to kill me off.
The final days of Aaron Carter carried an eerie, almost foreboding tone, as if he sensed death closing in. Just 2 days before he was found dead in his bathtub at his home in Lancaster, California, Aaron posted a chilling video on TikTok, a desperate, haunting plea for help. In that video, he claimed that his life was being threatened by his own family and certain powerful forces within the music industry. He begged his followers for financial help so he could escape the house he no longer felt safe living in. Aaron emphasized that if anything were to happen to him, it would not be an accident. Yet less than 48 hours later, Aaron Carter was discovered lifeless in his bathtub. The initial reports labeled his death an accidental drowning due to drug use. However, the details that surfaced afterward only deepened the mystery. An autopsy revealed there was no water in Aaron's lungs, something that would be impossible in a genuine drowning. Adding to the suspicion, Aaron's personal cell phone, an item he was rarely without, was found outside in his car, far from the bathroom where his body was discovered. Was it merely a bizarre coincidence, or evidence of a staged crime scene?
It's the tragic death of a young performer, and now family, friends, and fans around the world are suffering the loss.
Well, the first day, I got a call. The first thing, I got a call from my daughter, Angel, and she said that Aaron was found in the pool. So then I found out later that he was found in a tub.
Aaron's mother, Jane Carter, went public with her outrage, accusing the police of conducting a sloppy and careless investigation. She argued that her son's death should have been treated as a potential homicide from the outset. In a rare and heartbreaking move, she even released photographs of the death scene, expressing her deep frustration at how critical evidence had seemingly been ignored, clues ranging from suspicious marks to the testimonies of people who had last seen Aaron alive. The sense of foul play only intensified when compared to other eerily similar cases involving major celebrities: Michael Jackson, Avicii, Chester Bennington. All of them had expressed concerns about being threatened in the days or weeks leading up to their sudden and suspicious deaths. It begs the question, could it be that Hollywood, with all its glitz and glamour, is actually hiding shadowy forces willing to silence those who get too close to the truth? Was Aaron Carter simply the latest in a tragic series of stars who refused to stay silent and paid the ultimate price? Following the trail surrounding Aaron Carter's death inevitably leads to a figure who has often lurked quietly in the background: Sean "Diddy" Combs. More than just an entertainment titan, Diddy has direct connections to both Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber during the formative years of their careers. In the early 2000s, Aaron Carter signed with Jive Records, a subsidiary of Sony Music, the same massive conglomerate that also oversaw Bad Boy Entertainment, founded by Diddy himself. In essence, a young Aaron, barely 10 years old, was pulled into a powerful network where Diddy and his associates wielded considerable influence. Not long afterward, another young prodigy emerged, Justin Bieber. Discovered by Scooter Braun, Bieber was quickly introduced to Diddy. A now infamous video captures Diddy gifting a bottle of liquor to a 15-year-old Bieber, a rite of passage into the industry, according to some. The video stirred public outrage, not just for violating underage drinking laws, but also for what it symbolized, a culture where ethical boundaries were often bent or erased to serve ambition and power.
But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important your story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
The parallels between Aaron and Justin are striking. Both endured intense mental health struggles as they grew up under the harsh spotlight. Aaron battled addiction, bankruptcy, and deep familial rifts. Justin faced multiple mental breakdowns, once publicly admitting that he felt like a product being drained by the very industry that made him famous. Both artists dropped hints throughout their careers, alluding to unseen forces exerting control over their lives. Aaron's final statements before his death only fueled suspicions about Diddy's role in this shadowy world. Aaron hinted that big players behind Sony Records were trying to silence him and made it clear that if anything happened to him, it would not be a coincidence. Among the names whispered by online communities, Diddy stood out, thanks to his deep ties with record labels, management companies, and media networks that had surrounded Aaron throughout his career. The unavoidable question remains, was Aaron Carter merely an unfortunate casualty of early fame? Or was he drawn into a larger, more sinister web orchestrated by powerful figures like Diddy, figures who continue to operate above the law, untouched and unseen?